Hey guys, it's Griffin Oni here, and welcome back to Pokémon HeartGold. Last time, we made our way through routes 30 and 31, while also briefly exploring the Dark Cave. We caught a bunch of new Pokémon, including our new Pokémon here, Saris. Saris is wandering around. Clearly, Saris is all the more focused. And this time, we find ourselves in Violet City. There is a lot to do, but I don't want to waste any time here. You guys know what we're here to do, so let's just get right into it. Let's head on to the gym and fight the gym leader. Yo, Champ of the Making, you must be here to challenge Fulk and a gym leader, right? You're quite welcome. Almost. The city has a tower called Sprout Tower where trainers come to train themselves. Challenging Faulkner may be too difficult if you haven't gone through their training. Hahaha. Yeah, you didn't really think it was going to happen that quickly. There's a lot that we got to do here, unfortunately. So if we want to fight the first gym leader, we're going to have to do a little bit of work. But there's a lot of things that we can do here in Violet City that I want to take care of. So let's start by talking to you. We care about the traditional buildings around here. That's why even the Pokemon and Pokemon Center are painted a bit summerly to blend in. Oh yeah, that is a little detail that I do like about Violet City is that the coloration of the Pokemon and the Poké Center are a little different from all the others. And again, just a really close attention to detail. I really do love these games a lot. I want to talk to you. Shard de belly, shard de belly. Yeah, I tried begging for a shard. If you bring me some shards, I'll give you 3 berries, yeah? Okay, so this guy actually does provide a reasonable service. In the world, there are 4 different colored shards that you can obtain through various means. A lot of them are just kind of random hidden items that you can find around. But if you do have a colored shard, you can trade to him and you can get a specific set of berries. And depending on which one you give him, you'll get certain ones. So just to go over this, if you give him a red shard, you will get what's referred to as berry set A. That will give you a cherry berry, which cures paralysis, a pecha berry, which will cure poison, and then a lepid berry, which will restore 10 power points. Those are the amount of times you can use a specific move. If you give him a blue shard, you'll get berry set B, and that will give you an orange berry, which restores 10 HP. You can get a chesto berry, which will wake the Pokemon up if it falls asleep. And then you get a wiki berry, which will restore 1/8 of the Pokemon's HP when consumed. However, if your Pokemon is not particularly fond of dry food, then it will cause confusion as well, so be careful with that. If you give him a yellow shard, you'll get berry set C, and that will get you an Asper berry, which will defrost the user if they happen to be frozen. You'll get a citrus berry, which is one of the best berries in the game. It'll restore 25% of the Pokemon's HP when consumed. They'll be more likely to consume the citrus berry when they're less than half HP. And then you'll get the Iapa berry, which will restore 1/8 of the user's HP when consumed. But it might confuse the Pokemon if they dislike sour food. And finally, if you give him a green shard, you'll get berry set D, which will give you a Ross berry, which cures burn, a Lum berry, which will cure any status condition. It is objectively the best status curing berry in the game. And then you'll get the Aguave berry, which will restore 1/8 of the user's HP when consumed. But it might confuse the Pokemon if they are not fond of bitter food. So you get a little bit of everything in each one. Personally, I like either the yellow shard set or the green shard set, but yeah, that's just my personal thing. So I want to go in the Pokemon Center here now that we are totally done with that, and I want to talk to everyone inside, and because there are a couple things I want to do today. Pokemon are really smart. Traded Pokemon might not listen to you right away. For example, high-level Pokemon sometimes refuse to obey when you don't have enough gym badges. Yes, he is speaking the truth. If you get a Pokemon that is a particularly high level, well, more importantly, if you get a traded Pokemon that's particularly high level, then they will not obey you. The whole level obeying thing really only comes up if it's a traded Pokemon. I have never once seen a situation where you catch a high-level Pokemon in the wild and then it just won't obey you. But I think that's just a mechanic that they introduced to encourage you to get the gym badges. In later installments in the Pokemon franchise, they just make it so that high-level Pokemon cannot be caught if you don't have enough gym badges, which personally I like more. It was about 3 years ago. This group of thugs called Team Rocket was involved in wrongdoing. They were abusing Pokemon. But bad things never last. A boy did a wonderful job and Team Rocket was disbanded. Yep, that guy is talking about Red, the original character in the Gen 1 games, or Fire Red and Leaf Green, if you consider that canon to this game. You. A guy named Bill made the Pokemon PC storage system. You can access the Pokemon storage system using the PC at the reception there. Why don't you try it once? So, it looks like a man named Bill was responsible for giving us the wonderful storage system. Interesting. You have anything to say? Can you tell me what kind of trainer you like best? Which kind of trainer would you like to be? Okay, look at the bottom screen. You see that I have 4 different options here. We have Roughneck, School Kid, Black Belt, and Rich Boy. This is actually a mechanic that is specifically for versus matches. When you interact with another player, you go into this little room, and instead of appearing to them as a normal trainer, for them, they will appear as a specific type of NPC. This is just to make it so that you kind of stand out among them. So I'm gonna go with the Rich Boy, if that's the option that you're gonna give me here. Rich Boy's the kind of trainer you wanna be? Yes. Personally, I would prefer to be an ace trainer, but you know, we're not there yet. We haven't earned that right yet. I see, so Rich Boy is the kind of trainer you like. If that's the case, others may come to see you in the same way. Talk to me again if you want to know what kind of trainer you like best. Again, mayhaps in the future we'll have other things to work with. There is this other guy here. I want to save him for later. There's quite a bit to do with this particular gentleman here, and while we will definitely get to him eventually, I want to save him for the time being. So I'm going to talk to Nurse Joy here, get everyone healed up, and next up I'm going to go to the PC here. There is some stuff that we need to do here. I guess I don't necessarily need to deposit anyone, but let's be honest, I'm not using Rattata, so I'm gonna deposit him real quick. And I'm also gonna go ahead and withdraw a Bellsprout from my PC, because we are coming up on the thing that I need to do here. So the best thing that we're gonna do right now is we're just gonna go around Violet City and we're gonna talk to some people, because there really is a lot to unpack in this city, and I do want to be sure that I cover as much as I reasonably can. There have been reports of ghost-type Pokemon appearing in Sprout Tower. They say normal-type Pokemon moves have no effect on them. Yes, ghost types are completely immune to normal-type Pokemon's attack, so you definitely do want to be mindful of that. Here is a rock that Pokemon may be able to smash it. We don't have the ability to do anything with that right now. We'll want to remember that for later. What's this have to say? Violet City, the city of nostalgic scents. More of the city of nostalgic sounds. Anytime that I hear this music, I always feel nostalgic for Johto. It's great. Now, at Pokemon School, Earl will show you all there is to Pokemon. Let's go ahead and do that. Are you Earl? Pokemon magazines, Pokepal, Pokemon Handbook, adorable Pokemon, not what I wanted. Hey you, I know it's a little something, but would you like to join a group? If you join a group, you can compete or cooperate with fellow members. It's a lot of fun. Want to join? Sure. Cool, what do you want to name your group? I believe this is for, like, group mixing purposes in the, Union Room. If I'm incorrect about that, Editor Griffin will put the actual situation on screen, but I'm pretty sure that is it. I can't do what I would want to do in this situation, so... Oh, I know what I need to do. Hold on. Swashy, obviously. If you guys know the reference, good for you. Swashy group, huh? That's a great name. Leader's Griffin. I hope the group gets more members. All right, we'll go over groups a later point, though I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to facilitate that one. We'll work that out later. I'm taking notes of the teacher's lecture. I'd better copy this stuff on the blackboard, too. Some berries can restore Pokemon's health. Many other items can be held by Pokemon. It sure is tough taking notes. All right, what do you have to say, tiny child? Pokemon have what are called abilities. It seems that each Pokemon has distinct abilities. They say these abilities come in handy in battle. Yes, abilities are a thing that were introduced in Gen 3 to give Pokemon, well, abilities to do additional things. Some are more useful than others, but they all have their utility one way or another. Huh? Pokemon I got is holding something. I traded my best Pokemon to the guy beside me. Yes, I love these guys, mainly because they are, they're NPCs that have DSs in the Pokemon world, and they're playing Pokemon on their DSs, which it's really funny out of context because it's like, yeah, you can play Pokemon on your DS, but you can also just go out in the real world and interact with real Pokemon. Why would you not? I don't know. Like, I guess when you're training school and you're learning to be a trainer, it makes sense because it's helping to simulate the situation. But I feel like that's just kind of redundant in a world where Pokemon straight up exist. It's like, go out there and just meet a Pokemon. Next up, I want to look at this blackboard here. The blackboard explains Pokemon's status changes in battle. So I do want to go over this real quick just to be sure that we're all on the same page of how status conditions work. We've already seen Poison, but we'll still go over it. If poisoned, a Pokemon steadily loses HP. The poison lingers after the battle and HP is lost as you walk. To cure it, use an antidote. Yes, that is the poison condition. There is also, as we will find out later, there is an additional variant of poison called Badly Poisoned, which will not just steadily lower the Pokemon's HP in battle, but the amount will double. There is a cap at a certain point. It will not just straight up guarantee to eliminate all your HP in one go, but the amount does double multiple times, so you want to be extremely careful if your Pokemon gets badly poisoned. Next up is Paralysis. Paralysis reduces speed and may prevent movement. It remains after battle, so use a Paralyze heal. Yes, so Paralysis does lower the Pokemon's speed. What it does exactly is that it halves the Pokemon's speed. It's not like by a specific like quarter or eighth margin. It's exactly half of whatever your Pokemon is. And it's a total coin toss as to whether or not you can do anything at all. Next up, Sleep. If asleep, your Pokemon can use only certain moves, such as Sleep, Talk, and Snore. Sleeping Pokemon doesn't wake up after battle. Wake it up with an awakening. Yeah, so if they're asleep, unless they have those specific moves that they mentioned, it cannot do anything at all unless it wakes up. And it's a total coin toss in most cases. There are certain moves where the Pokemon will be asleep for only a specific amount of time. But in most cases, it's random chance if you will ever be able to attack again. Burn is next. A burn consumes HP little by little and also reduces the attack stat. A burn lingers after battle. Use a burn heal as a cure. Rewitch topic. Yeah, so that one's a little misleading. It says linger after battle, which, yeah, it does not go away after the battle is over, but the wording there implies that it would also steadily lower your HP while you're outside of battle. That's not true at all. It won't do that, but it will steadily deal damage to you and have your attack. It's basically a slightly worse version of Poison, so you definitely do want to be mindful of burns, and as always, you better have Burn Heal. And last up is the Frozen status. If your Pokemon is frozen, it can't do a thing. It remains frozen after battle, followed up with an Ice Heal. Yeah, so Frozen is actually a worse version of Sleep, because it's straight up impossible for you to do anything while you are frozen. It is a coin toss if you can get out. It is just as probable as Sleep as far as getting out of Frozen status, but the nice thing about the Frozen status, unlike Sleep status, is that there is no singular move to just make the Pokemon frozen and nothing else. Any move that can freeze Pokemon will also inflict damage, and it's just a low chance of it happening. So it's very improbable that you will ever get frozen, but if you do, you better have a way to thaw them out. Now, technically, there are a couple of other status conditions that are not listed on this board, but we'll go over them as they are presented, because trust me, with the Pokemon I'm working with, they absolutely will come up. Right, Zubat? Pokemon, you stare intently at the blackboard, but doesn't seem to understand. How are you? You can't see the blackboard. I would say that's the reason you can't understand it, Zubat. You don't have eyes. You literally can't read the blackboard. The best you could do is try to figure out what's written on there based off the sounds of the chalk being written, like that one guy in Naruto. Anyway, now that we have been educated on the arts of, status conditions, I'm gonna go in this house, I believe. And I want to talk to one of you two. I like that Pokemon. Do you have a Bellsprout? Yes, I do. This is the guy. Want to trade it for my Onix? I absolutely do. This is why I suggested getting 2 Bellsprouts. So I'm gonna give this Bellsprout away. And now we get to see the cool little trade animation for trading. Bye-bye, Bellsprout. God, I've missed seeing this animation. It's so cool to see it fly up in the air like that. I used to do this so much as a kid. All right, Rudy has sent over Rocky, the Onyx. Take good care of Rocky. Yay, I got myself a Bellsprout, thanks. It's like I'm all good for like giving him a Bellsprout, but it's like, dude, there are Bellsprout outside of town. A Pokemon you get in a trade grows quickly, but if you don't have the right gym badge, they may disobey you. All right, so now that we have gotten that Pokemon, let's take a look at what we got here. Oh, looks like Rocky has something. He's got the Person Berry on him. So, Rocky, the Onyx. Let's talk about Onyx real quick. Onyx is an incredibly defensive rock type. It easily has the highest defense out of anything we have encountered so far or will encounter for a good while. Its type combination is great for helping deal with most of the early game Pokemon that we have come across so far, as it resists a lot of common early game types such as normal, flying, bug, poison, and a few others. Unfortunately, aside from its defense and relatively average speed, this Pokemon's pretty bad. It has horrible HP and special defense, which is not great when you have 2 quad weaknesses among a myriad of common weaknesses. And its offensive capabilities, despite being a gigantic 28-foot-long rock snake monster, are pitiful. Ironically, the Bellsprout that we traded away, even before it would have evolved, has significantly better offensive stats than Onyx. So is it worth using? Yes, and for multiple reasons. First of all, this specific Onyx will be very helpful against the first gym, regardless of lackluster offensive stats. It's definitely a good safety net to have in case things go south. Second, this specific Onyx, because we obtained it in a trade, as the old man mentioned, gains a 50% boost to EXP, making it generally easier to raise. And third, and by far most importantly, Onyx evolves into Steelix, one of the best physical tanks in the game. It has much better stats at the cost of some speed, which all went into its defense, raising it to base 200 defense, which is the second highest defense out of any Pokemon in the game. Plus, Steelix gets excellent moves to level up, which not only complement its type, but some moves also give it a surprising amount of coverage. If you seriously plan on raising an Onyx, however, I would recommend 2 things. First, you're going to need to trade away Onyx again while it is holding a Metal Coat to evolve it, or you can wait until just after the 4th gym in this game for you to get the opportunity to catch a wild Steelix if you don't want to bother with all that. And second, either way, make sure it is Rockhead instead of Sturdy for its ability. Sturdy doesn't get the utility it has in most modern Pokemon games until Gen 5. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I got the bigger end of the stick here. I did get a nature that, pretty sure lowers defense and increases speed, which is not particularly great for Onyx. Honestly, this Onyx is really bad. But I didn't necessarily plan on using Rocky for my team. I just wanted to show off that you can get an Onyx this way. So, yeah, we're just going to have to work with this. But honestly, I'm not going to complain. Now that we have gotten Rocky the Onyx, I do want to go around and talk to some more people because there is more stuff for us to do and get here. Volcaner from the Violet City Pokemon Gym is a fine trainer. He inherited his father's gym and has done a great job with it. Yes, that is right. I do forget that in a lot of cases, some gym leaders that are particularly young do inherit them from their parents. I believe there is another trainer in the Hoenn region that is the same way. But it's always nice to kind of see that there is a bit of tradition and passing on the torch. What do you have to say, rotund individual? Bonjour, you're a trainer? Battle gym leader when you did? Nah, wrong language. Is that so? Then study shall you. Follow me. Oh, I forgot that he did this. Here, teacher I am. Good, it is your study here. Is he in the... Yeah, he is in the training school. Hold up. Earl I am. Oh, this is Earl. Wonderful Pokemon, yes. Teacher will to be a better trainer. What do you want to know? Want to be a winner is you? Yes. Good, teacher I will. In battle, Pokemon top on list. The walking one, jump out first. Change order on list, make battle easy, maybe. More from me you want to hear? Yes. So, want to know the race Pokemon well? Sure. By Digital Will, Pokemon come out in battle even briefly, some experience points it gets. Keep out weak Pokemon, switch your battle quick. This way, weak Pokemon very soon become. More from me you'll want to hear. God, what have I got myself into? Yes, he was explaining Switch Train just now. So want to know how to battle well? Yes. My teacher will. Pokemon have goods and bads because many types. I level Pokemon not to win always with bad types. Pokemon with good types will the foe you choose. One battle it is. Alright, well that covers Earl and all the wonderful things you can learn from him. I totally forgot about him. But hey, that's the beauty of this game. You always learn new things and you meet new people and you get to appreciate all the wonderful things in this world. You cannot have your Pokemon out walking with you in some places. Places like buildings, caves, and where there are huge crowds. But all you have to do is put it in a Pokeball. Well, that's not entirely true. I brought Zubat into many buildings. Right, Zubat? Cyrus is looking down steadily. Fine, I'll call you by your name next time. Also, again, how are you looking down? You don't have eyes! She uses the names of all the food she really enjoys eating. For the nicknames she gives her Pokemon to me. Oh. Okay. I call my Pidgey Strawberry. What are you, part of the Frieza Force? Well, nice to meet you, Strawberry. Now, before we continue on, there is one thing that I do want to do briefly. There is one specific Pokemon that I do want to go out and catch real quick. I don't want to get too much done this episode because what we have coming up next is going to take a little while. So I just want to do one more thing today. Well, first of all, I want to grab this apricorn tree. It's a yellow apricorn. We're going to need these later. I'm going to head down here. Welcome to Route 32. Now, on Route 32, there are multiple new Pokemon that we can find, and while I could go over each and every one of them, there's only one specific Pokemon that I really have in mind as far as catching. So I'm going to switch Blazer back up to the front here, and we're going to get to work because I need to find this Pokemon just for specific reasons. Anything you want to say before we get started with this, Blazer? Blazer steadily poked at the ground. God bless. There we go! I found a Mareep! Now, I think we can all agree that Mareep is one of those Pokemon that everyone uses on their first Johto experience. And honestly, why wouldn't you? This is our first instance of running into an Electric-type Pokemon. And as you will find, Electric types prove themselves to be an excellent type all throughout the game. They are as genuinely helpful early on as they will be later. When caught here, Mareep won't know any Electric-type moves, but soon enough, it will get Thunder Shock at level 10 and Thunder Wave soon after, which can inflict the paralysis condition we talked about earlier. Plus, its ability Static further helps this along by paralyzing opponents that Mareep makes contact with. As it evolves into Fluffy and later Ampharos, it will learn a nice variety of moves while still maintaining impressive and well-balanced stats, allowing it to hit hard while still maintaining decent bulk. Only things you really need to keep in mind while raising it are that Mareep and its evolutions are relatively slow for Electric types. It also does not learn Thunderbolt through level up, so you're going to have to stick with Discharge for a while. Should that stop you from raising one? No. Will it stop me from raising one for the team? Also no. Also, fun fact about Mareep, its name is meant to be an anagram of the word ampere, a unit of electric current. Fitting. Anyway, we're going to concentrate on, catching Mareep, and hopefully we do not get paralyzed in the process. But there is no guarantee because the only moves I really have to work with are physical attacks, and physical attacks trigger static, as we can see here. But fortunately, Mareep, as I mentioned, does not have any Electric-type moves at the moment, so we should be perfectly fine. You know what? Just for the sake of trying to mix things up, let's put Mareep in a Heal Ball. I feel like that's relatively fitting. There we go. Mareep has been caught. Mareep's head has been added to the Pokedex. Mareep, the Wool Pokemon. If static electricity builds in its body, its fleece doubles in volume. It doubles in volume. I can't speak today at all. Touching it will shock you, hence the static. And since Mareep is going to be added to the team, of course, I'm going to give it a nickname as soon as I remember what I had in mind for it. So we're going to call our Mareep Raido. Rai is a Japanese term that has to do with thunder, lightning, and electricity. But also, Raido is the name of a really, really cool character from the Devil Summoner series called Raido Kuzunoha. Specifically, Raido Kuzunoha the 14th. If you have been watching my recent live streams, you know that I love Raido. So I'm glad to have Raido properly on the team. Now, I do believe that since I used the heal ball, yes, as you can see, with the heal ball fully used, Raido is fully restored, as we see here. So it looks like it has the careful nature. It gives it less special attack and more special defense, if I recall correctly, but that's fine. I can work with that. All right, I feel like on that note, we're going to go ahead and end things here. I know not too much was accomplished this episode, but we did get a new Pokemon for our team, and we also got an additional trade Pokemon in the form of Rocky the Onyx. We learned a lot about status conditions, different berries that we can get, and learned more about the city in general, including Falcon, a gym leader. Now I just need to be able to earn our right to fighting him. So, next time on Pokemon HeartGold, we are going to go into the Sprout Tower, and we are going to earn the right to fight the gym leader. See you guys then.